Take a dollar bill out of your wallet. That famous S with a line through it, the DOF symbol. Do you really know where it comes from? Think about it. The R symbol means registered, other C means copyright. They're intuitive. But why a crossed out S for the world's most powerful currency? What if I told you that exact same symbol is carved all over an Italian temple built in 1450, nearly 500 years ago? A coincidence? Not even close. What if I told you that this symbol, the American flag, and even the 4th of July, all point to a secret so big it forced Spain to erase a date from history, 1442. Let's travel to Florence, Italy. Look up inside the old sacristy of the Basilica of San Lorenzo. Above you is a stunning dome, painted in 1442, commissioned by Cosimo de' Medici, the most powerful man of the Italian Renaissance. This isn't just art, it's a perfect astronomical map, painted with expensive gold and azurite. Modern astronomers have confirmed it. This dome shows the exact celestial alignment over Florence on a specific date. July 4th, 1442. Why would anyone spend a fortune to immortalize one specific day in the stars? What happened on that day? But it gets even stranger. The exact same celestial map, for the exact same date, July 4th, 1442, appears in another famous Florentine landmark, the Pazzi Chapel. Yes, commissioned by the Pazzi family, the very same family that would later try to assassinate Lorenzo de' Medici in 1478. In 1442, these future mortal enemies were allies. Why would two rival families commemorate the exact same day in the heavens? Because they were co-funding the same secret expedition, a journey to America. Rewind 4 years to 1438. The Byzantine emperor arrives in Florence, bringing with him a philosopher named Plethon. And Plethon carries a treasure more valuable than gold: ancient maps from the Greek geographer Strabo. Maps describing Atlantic routes and the Fortunate Isles, the classical term for lands across the ocean. Cosimo de' Medici immediately understood the potential. New routes meant unimaginable wealth, so a secret expedition was organized. The commander, a brilliant 25-year-old military leader, Sigismondo Pandolfo Malatesta. The departure date, July 4th, 1442. The destination, the unknown West. The evidence is hiding in plain sight. A celebratory poem from the era, the Hesperis, literally the Western Lands, describes Sigismondo's voyage, a shipwreck, and his landing on a fortunate isle. These poems weren't fantasy. They were propaganda, glorifying a commander's real achievements. Then there's the art. In 1451, the great mathematician and painter Piero della Francesca painted a fresco of Sigismondo. But behind the religious scene, modern analysis suggests it's a hidden geographical map of the North American coastline. Why would a painter, obsessed with scientific precision, paint the American coast 9 years after this supposed voyage? The proof becomes undeniable in Florence's famous Chapel of the Magi, painted in 1459. There are no Magi. There is no nativity scene. Instead, we see a magnificent expedition. And the figures in the procession are all real people, including the key players of our story. The Byzantine emperor who brought the maps, Cosimo de' Medici, and leading the entire procession, Sigismondo Malatesta. But here is the scientific smoking gun. Detailed analysis of the plants and animals in that painting reveals shocking details. In the foreground are plants like the Araucaria, a pine native only to South America. There's even a depiction of a South American marsh deer, an animal completely unknown in Europe in 1459. The artist Gozzoli couldn't have invented these with such accuracy. Someone who had been there had to have described them to him. So what happened to this incredible story? Fast forward 50 years to 1492. A suspicious string of deaths begins. Key figures connected to the 1442 expedition, including Lorenzo de' Medici himself, die within months of each other. Then, on October 12, 1492, two things happen. Columbus discovers America, and Piero della Francesca, the painter who depicted the American coast, supposedly dies on the very same day. Just 17 days after the previous pope's death, A new pope is elected, Rodrigo Borgia, a Spaniard with deep ties to the Spanish crown. In 1493, he issues a decree dividing the New World between Spain and Portugal. Italy, the nation that actually made the first journey, was cut out completely. The plan was ruthless: eliminate the witnesses, install a Spanish pope, and rewrite history. But you can't erase the truth, you can only hide it in symbols. In his personal temple in Rimini, Sigismondo Malatesta plastered his personal emblem everywhere, an S with a vertical line through it, Sigismondo. 300 years later, in 1792, George Washington, a Freemason, adopts the dollar. The symbol? The exact same S with a line through it. The Malatesta family's main symbol was an elephant, representing wisdom and leadership. In 1854, the American Republican Party chose an elephant as its symbol. The American flag itself, with its red and white horizontal stripes, mirrors the Malatesta coat of arms, described in heraldry as banded with alternating red and white stripes. The stars on a blue field, a nod to the astronomical knowledge celebrated in those chapels, and the final definitive link. July 4th, 1442, the Italian expedition departs. July 4th, 1776, the United States declares independence. The vote for independence actually happened on July 2nd. So why did the Founding Fathers, men like Washington and Franklin, who were deeply involved in Freemasonry, insist on the 4th? They knew. The Freemasons had inherited the secret knowledge from the Italian Renaissance academies. They chose July 4th deliberately, to honor the true original discovery of America, and to symbolically break from the Spanish lie. Every iconic American symbol seems to point back to this forgotten event. The dollar sign, the flag, the elephant, and the most celebrated date in its history, the 4th of July. The history you learned in school is a 500-year-old fabrication. The true discovery of America was an Italian achievement, hidden in plain sight for centuries. Now that you know, you can't unsee it. That dollar in your pocket, the flag on the pole, the fireworks every July, they all tell a different story. A story that has been waiting to be heard. What do you think? Is this the biggest cover-up in history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you believe this story needs to be told, share this video. And for more secrets hidden in history, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.